Gaffer, thanks for joining us. First of all, just reflecting on Saturday's win, certainly felt like a big one, and after the game kind of showed that.
Yeah, I think the circumstances as well, because obviously when we went down to 10 men with 15 minutes to go, you know what I never felt it was back to the wall stuff, but you know that Carlisle are going to come into it, have a little bit more possession. And they're a threat. They've scored the most goals. I know they haven't scored in 4, but they've scored the most goals in the league up until them 4 games. So it was a big win. I felt we deserved it from where we went. I thought first half was a bit of a muchness game, but I thought second half we dominated the ball. And I know it was a lucky goal, but I think we got in them positions 4 or 5 times more than Carlisle. So if you keep getting in positions and you take shots on, then it's always liable to ricochet in at some point. We had a couple where the keeper spilled it, didn't quite spill it far enough for Charlie to score. So it was a brilliant result for us. And again, the atmosphere at the end and the connection between the players and the supporters was fantastic.
So I know last time you said you didn't really care about the rest of League Two, but kind of results did go our way, and with that win on Saturday, did that take a bit of the pressure off maybe in terms of performances for the next few games, in terms of that edginess that was there?
No, because if you take your foot off the pedal and you lose and the opposition and the other teams around you win, then you're back to square one. So I'm a big believer that if you get your own house in order and you show intent and you want to go and win the games, then obviously everybody can't win every single week. So you know that you're going to pull away from certain teams. But it's a bit of a dogfight to try and get in them top 3. It's a bit of a dogfight to try and get in the playoffs. You know, Mansfield had a good win. Sutton are still not out of it. Barrow had a good win, so they're back into it. And obviously you get the teams like Bradford, Stockport, Salford. So, you know, it's interesting. And I think it'll probably go to the end.
It's all about momentum at this end of the season. Salford, one of those teams who certainly picked up momentum going into this kind of last run of games. What kind of game can we expect with them?
Oh, well, I think they're a good football team. Technical players, small technical players who can handle the ball. You know, I've watched a couple of their games. I watched them a few weeks ago at Mansfield. Very, very good. I watched the game the other night against Stockport. Stockport put it on them a little bit in the first 20 minutes. But then Salford come back into it. I think in Callum Hendry they've got a really good footballer, a 9 that likes to drop in, and he'd leave space in behind for others to run into. They've got goals spread about the team. Someone like Galbraith I've worked with before, and they've got different. I think Woody's a good coach. He can play different systems. Sometimes they send the right back in to play as a midfield player. They keep the 8s high and wide when we play with one holding midfield player. So they've got loads of different ways of playing. I think Woody's gone in there and he's done a good job.
As a manager, do you prefer these types of games where you're up against a more technical side?
What do you think? Sometimes in this league you get sick of saying you've got to get to the ball, you've got to stop and playing it long, you've got to stop crosses, you've got to get on second balls, and they can be tough. When you actually sit down and watch a team play and rotate and show you and it becomes more tactical, that's when it becomes enjoyable for us. So Salford are one of them teams. Bradford, I remember early in the season when we played them at home, that was a good game to look at certain things that they done. But yeah, in a way it makes it easier for us as well, because you're not just, you see that teams that just lump it forward, they're just hoping that the ball bounces from, and it can be difficult. So yeah, I much prefer this.
First time going back to Salford as a manager, does that really add anything to the occasion for you?
Not really, because to be honest, it was like I was never there, if I'm being honest. It was a difficult time for everybody with COVID. I never managed a game for them in front of supporters. So, yeah, I think I've definitely moved on. I think they've moved on, and good luck to them. It was just one of them things where it didn't work out. But I do think that the circumstances where, you know, you look at the connection I have with the supporters here and everything's just going really smoothly, and that's what you want as a manager. But when you're managing in front of an empty stadium and there's echoes all around the place and there's no intensity to any of the games, you know, it can be really difficult. So, like I said, I've never managed a game there in front of supporters, apart from when I managed a Swindon team there. So yeah, I think you just move on and just get on with it.
Obviously, in terms of team selection, we know Charlie Kelman will miss a game for suspension. Are any kind of other headaches you've got at the moment?
Yeah, Theo's had to drop out of training today. We're going to get him rescanned. He's just not comfortable with it. Drinnan, it's probably doubtful. He's probably not going to make it. Mainly because he is a doubt, but more so that we don't want to risk him. We know that Charlie's suspended, and we don't want to be going from 2 number 9s to no number 9s. So we're going to have to change the way that we play. We're going to have to change our shape a little bit. because obviously we haven't got a fit striker at the club.
Is that where the kind of versatility of those players in the front three really helps?
Well, I always like players that I don't like left wingers that can only play on the left. I don't like right wingers that are pigeonholed and can only play on the right. I like wingers who can play a 10 and on the opposite side. So we have got a few options, and we're just gonna have to change. We're just gonna have to change the dynamics of the way that we play.
It was clean sheet number 21 for the season on Saturday. Obviously, a lot of plaudits will go Lawrence Iggory's way, but equally, I think Omar Beckles was pretty commanding and has been all season.
No, whoever's played at the back, honestly. But if you ask Bex, if you ask Viggs, if you ask Tomo when he's played, Rob Hunt, TJ, Dan Happ, Ed now, the work rate up in front of them is exceptional. So from the very first day of the season at home to Grimsby, defensive have been really, really sound. I think it gives you a good foothold. I always think that good defensive teams go far in the table. We've still got Jamie McCart. You watch Jamie McCart train. He's a really, really good player. It's just not happening for him at the moment because of his injury. And like I said, we've still got Tomo waiting in the wings. TJ's back fit now, so we have got a real good option. Sweeney has been outstanding in the last 5-6 weeks, and he deserves to keep his place. TJ was just unlucky that he timed it, whereas Hunt he just come back before him. So great options to have. But you don't get 21 clean sheets out of 38, just your goalkeeper and just your centre half. It is a collective thing, and I think everybody's aware that it is a collective.
Just on Jane Sweeney, and I think probably a couple of other players from this category as well. In terms of developing players, is that something you take a lot of pride in?
I take a lot of pride, but I'm not. I'm hard on them at times because I know what it's like. I know what it takes. Technically, there's players up and down the country that are technically good enough to play in first teams, but mentally they can't handle it. So you have to take them out of the comfort zone. You have to test them. And I think that Sweeney has come through it with flying colours. And now you look at him, and as a manager, the biggest word from a manager to a player is trust. And Ed Turns is the same, young player, but I've got a lot of trust in him. I see a lot of academy football where it's so fake, it's so false. There's no demand set on these players. It's just a nice, beautiful pitch. You have it, we have it. Same movement, same. Every 23s game is the same, and I think they're practicing something that is not real for these young kids. So we try and develop him not only on the pitch and expose him to. As Ed played in front of 9,000 on Saturday, brilliant experience. Same with Sweens now. Obviously he's a homegrown player as well. That gives you a lot more satisfaction, and it gives exposure to our academy. But I love working with young players. I love working with young players that look you in the eye, that want to take on information, and are very, very coachable, and them lads are.
Just wanted to ask on Ed as well, obviously, when you come in to kind of where he is now, are you seeing traits and attributes that he's developed and are really helping his game?
I think he has his strengths. That's why he's a good player, and that's why he's at a club like Brighton that is innovative, forward-thinking football club. And I think really highly of Ed. But he's just, I sat down with him 20 minutes yesterday. And to be fair, he sees it. So we've worked on 3 or 4 things that will improve him. We've actually gone out in training and done them 3 or 4 things. And he's performed, like I said, at the moment, his ceiling is a lot higher than where he is now, and he's only to be expected. 20-year-old playing every week at the moment in League 2 for the team that are in the top of the league. It's a really good starting point for him.
2 games obviously over the weekend, Friday, Monday. How much is your team selection going to be kind of governed by those games coming up?
Well, at the moment, my hand's being forced a little bit in certain areas. I think we've got real good strength in depth in terms of our defensive department. Midfield, we're okay, and we've just got one little problem. It's just more the central striker. So, like I say, we're going to have to come up with something different. But if there's any risk with any of the players, then I think Monday's a really important game for us as well. They all are at this stage of the season, but we'll pick what we think can be a team that can go there and win. We've never picked a team that can just go there, and I know we've drew 4 before Saturday, but we've had every intention of going there winning the game.
Finally then, again, really good support coming up over the weekend. Friday, sold the initial allocation and more tickets on sale now, so a good number going up, and Monday's looking like a sellout as well. So at this stage of the season, it must be really good for you and the players to know you've got everyone behind you. Yeah,
I think it should be. I think we should be selling out every single game now, home and away. The position that we're in, and we've got 3 home games now left. I think we've got Crewe, Harrogate, Stockport. Am I right? You should know this. No, so we've got 3 home games left, so that's only 3 opportunities now in front of our own fans to really, put a seal on this season and really, really enjoy it. So, I expect every game now to be sold out.